time to balance my bookshelves for last week. I meant to do this over the weekend and then spent the entire weekend battling an ongoing migraine. And then I was also busy on top of it, so I just didn't get time to do this, which I apologize for. But anyway, we started the week out at 605 books on my physical TBR, and I finished Catabasis kind of early on in the week, I think. At this point, I don't remember if I'm being completely honest, but I really enjoyed this book, so I was kind of just, you know, sitting with this for a little bit, enjoying the experience of reading it and just taking in a book that was this incredible. So I enjoyed that. That brought it down to 604. Then I got my first Mystic book box, which is like a subscription box that I forgot that I was on a waitlist for, and then I forgot that I ended up getting off the waitlist for. So I got 2 books from that. The first is a special edition of Nocticadia, which is gorgeous. And then it also came with Master of Salt and Bone, which is also equally stunning, both fantastic for spooky season. So that brings me up to 607. Yes, 607. Then I finished the audiobook for Capturing the Devil. This is the last book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, so I can check that off my series list and my 25 and 2025 list, which is fantastic for me. And this brings me down to 606 books. Actually, I screwed up my math. That brings me down to 605 books. Yeah. We're going to sort this out at the end, but I'm pretty sure that's where I'm at. And then I went to a bookstore that was having a grand opening, went in saying, I'm not going to get anything, but then of course I did. But this is on my fall TBR, and I've been looking everywhere for it and couldn't find it in any stores. It was always sold out, and they finally had it. So I got If It Makes You Happy. Did not expect it to be this chunky, but I'm very excited for this one. Very, very high on my list to read this fall time, so probably going to read this sometime very soon. Then I did also get a book in the mail. This does not count towards my physical TBR number because I did already read the ARC edition of this. I just loved it so much I needed a trophy, and that is Wings of Ash and Flame. And then I did get Accomplice to the Villain as well, because this is also on my fall TBR, and I really, really wanted this one as well. So that brings me up to 607. And then lastly, I finished the audiobook for You Will Be Mine, so that brings me down to 606. So technically 1 over what I started the week out at. I don't have excuses anymore.